Next, I'd like to officially introduce our survivor speaker. It's the first year that I get to introduce somebody beyond Andrew as a survivor speaker, who is somebody that I know in my day-to-day life and I'm inspired by in my day-to-day life. So I'm super excited to introduce Rabbi Janet Liss.
Thank you, Eddie. I thought I was following Andrew. Okay. In 2008, being a Relay for Life novice, I saw someone walking toward me wearing a purple shirt, and I remarked to my partner, Grace, that I wanted a purple t-shirt. As the woman passed by, I saw the word survivor on the back of that shirt, and I quickly said, no, I don't want that shirt. Lesson 1, be careful what you ask for. Later that summer, I read A Complaint-Free World by Reverend William Bowen, who challenged readers to go for 21 days without complaining. You wear a purple band on your arm, and you switch the band to the other arm every time you complain, and you start all over again. The goal is to make it to 21 days, and if you do, it'll change your outlook on life. I was writing a High Holy Day sermon about that book when I remembered that I was 6 months late on my mammogram. I stopped writing and made my appointment. Fast forward to the day after Rosh Hashanah. Grace and I went for our mammograms. I got called back for more films, a routine occurrence for me, and for the first time ever, I thought, why worry? I've never had a problem. I went in for my sonogram, and I was there so long that Grace finally burst into the room, moments after the radiologist said to me I had breast cancer. She showed us the mammogram with what looked like railroad tracks on it magnified 50 times. We scheduled a biopsy and prayed that the radiologist was wrong. The day after Yom Kippur, they called with the results. Within minutes, I was on the phone with my new breast cancer surgeon, and the whirlwind began. That was October 2008. I needed to be in Israel in February for 2 conferences that I had been planning, one of which I was the conference chair. I didn't have time in my schedule for breast cancer. This gave me something positive to focus on while going through chemotherapy. After 3 surgeries, we knew the cancer had spread to my lymph nodes. It was stage 2. Being an Ashkenazi Jew with no family of any family history of cancer, I took the BRCA gene test, which I do not have. I had 4 chemo treatments, went to Israel, came back, and went through 7 weeks of radiation. Each day away from the chemo, I was stronger. The purple bracelet and the attitudinal shift helped me tremendously. We know that 1 in 7 women on Long Island will be diagnosed with breast cancer. When I was diagnosed, I knew I was the one in that 7. I would like to share a few lessons with you that I learned from my cancer. We all delude ourselves thinking that we're in control of our lives. We are in control of small things, but we're not really. The reality is that stuff eventually happens to everyone. The question is, how will you deal with it when it hits your life? The concept of not complaining but taking action really helped me deal with the psychological changes of going from a rabbi who was there for others to having to focus on my own health. Each chemo round brought a number of bad days, yet even on those days, my attitude never changed. I found that it was important to have something to look forward to as I went through the treatment. The next lesson I learned was the power of belonging to a faith community and what role it plays in one's life. My congregation, North Country Reformed Temple, made an enormous difference in my recovery. The outpouring of love was continuous and remarkable, from calls, cards, emails, food, flowers, and angels. One of the hardest lessons I learned was when people want to help, let them. When you visit the sick, it takes their mind off of themselves and what they're experiencing and helps them forget about their issues. The love of my family, my friends, my temple family, and my puppies kept me going. The power of prayer gave me great comfort during my treatment. I was on local churches' prayer lists. I got cards from people I had never heard of who were praying for my recovery. When I learned of my diagnosis, I decided I was going to use my cancer as a teaching opportunity. Over the years, people have told me when they were diagnosed that they weren't going to tell their children or their grandchildren because they didn't want to worry them or have them think that they were going to die. I wanted the children in our Hebrew school to know that when somebody was diagnosed with cancer, it didn't mean they had to die. The kids learned the mitzvah of visiting and reaching out to the sick. They made cards for me. I went into their classrooms regularly to let them see that I was okay. Some weeks I looked and felt better than others. Don't hide your illness from your friends and family. Don't miss out on the love and support they have to give you. Every day, more studies are released giving often confusing information related to cancer screening. How often, how young or old one should be to be tested, whether the testing makes sense or not. I know for a fact that my cancer was diagnosed because of a mammogram. I had no symptoms, there was no lump or tumor to feel, and it had already spread to my lymph nodes. My advice to everyone is to get screened, live a happy, healthy life, keep working, keep raising funds until we can find more cures, create more miracles, and maybe through our actions, parents will not lose children, and everyone will grow up and live long and healthy, cancer-free lives. Since 2009, I have proudly worn my purple shirt at Relay for Life. Now I have a whole collection of them. My prayer for everyone here is that we will all be blessed with continued health, with wholeness, and courage to face whatever comes our way.